Between 2014 and 2018, Elon Musk paid a true tax rate of 3.27% on wealth growth of nearly $14 billion. Jeff Bezos, one of the richest men in history, paid zero federal income tax in 2007 and again in 2011. These aren't rumors. This is from actual IRS data leaked to ProPublica, one of America's most respected investigative newsrooms. Now here's what should bother you. You probably paid more percentage-wise than both of them. A nurse, a teacher, a mid-level manager, paying a higher rate than the world's richest people. You are working for your money. They are making their money work, and then borrowing against it so the taxman never sees a cent. Every dollar, every loophole completely within the rules. So the real question isn't whether this is happening. Clearly is. The question is how? The answer comes down to three words: buy, borrow, die. Before we get into the strategy, you need to understand one rule that the entire system is built on. Governments tax income, not wealth. When you go to work and receive a salary, that money moves. It flows from your employer to you. The moment it moves, the government taxes it. You don't get a choice. It's taken before you even see it. Now consider a different situation. You own shares in a company. That company grows. Your shares are now worth $50 million. You are, on paper, $50 million richer. But because no income was created, no tax is owed. This is the fundamental design of most tax systems. They tax transactions, not the quiet growth of assets. Billionaires understood this a long time ago. Instead of earning more, they own more. The goal is a bigger asset base that grows silently, completely outside the reach of income tax. That is step one: buy. If you haven't sold anything, how do you live? How do you buy a house or fund a lifestyle? This is where they do something so clean it's almost insulting. They borrow. Imagine Jeff Bezos needs a $100 million yacht. If he sells Amazon stock to get that cash, he might trigger a $20 million tax bill. Instead, he walks into a bank and says, "I have billions in collateral, give me a loan for $100 million. A loan is not income. The bank says yes, often at tiny interest rates. Now he has the cash and the government sees zero taxable event. He saves $20 million up front. Even if the loan has 3% interest, his stock might be growing at 10% a year. He is literally getting paid to borrow money. They never sell. They always borrow. But the story doesn't end with living tax-free. The real magic or the real scandal happens when the journey ends. If this breakdown is making sense so far, hit the like button. It helps the algorithm show this to more people who are tired of the old system. Now we come to the final step. This is where the tax bill that was building for decades simply disappears. Normally, if you sell a stock that grew from $1 million to $100 million, you'd owe tax on that $99 million gain. But if you never sold and lived off loans until you die, something extraordinary happens. The step up in basis. When heirs inherit assets, the government resets the price to today's market value. The $99 million of growth is wiped clean for tax purposes. Your children inherit $100 million, and if they sell the next day, their taxable gain is zero. Buy, borrow, repeat. It's the final tax move. This is not an accident. These rules were written into law to encourage investment. But the people who benefit most have enormous influence over the people who write the laws. The average person has a salary and a deadline. The wealthy have a tax team. When people say the rich pay more in absolute numbers, they miss the point. The question is, what percentage of your growing wealth are you paying? On that measure, the system is deeply structurally tilted. That's not a political opinion. That's arithmetic. You cannot copy this exactly tomorrow, but understanding it changes your game. Stop thinking only about income. Start thinking about ownership. Tax efficiency is a skill, not cheating. Use tax-advantaged accounts and deferred gains. Think in decades. The power of this strategy depends on time. You will not become a billionaire by watching a video, but you can stop being financially blind. The system does not reward hard work. It rewards ownership. Hard work earns income. Income gets taxed. Ownership builds wealth. Wealth grows quietly and the tax bill gets deferred or eliminated. The next time someone tells you to work harder, ask them what they own. Because that is the only question that separates the people who play this game from the people who fund it. If this changed how you see money, subscribe. There's a lot more of this they never taught you in school.